standing here at Players Championship 4, as Gary Anderson has just breezed past Dave Chisnell. A 6-1 win, 106 average. He's in the final and looking to make it back-to-back wins this weekend here in Barnsley. And he will be up against either a fellow two-time world champion in Adrian Jackpot Lewis, or the new kid on the block, Jeffrey Zwaan, who has been making his mark in 2018. Not only has he reached a final, which he actually lost to Gary Anderson in Wigan at the UK Open qualifiers last month, but he also was good enough to beat Michael van Gerwen in Minehead. And he's into the last 4 again today. Zwaan, who is easy to forget, had to go to Q School at the start of this year to win back his tour card. Came through the inaugural European qualifying school on day 1.
Jeffrey to throw first.
And Adrian Lewis rather. Chisnell is out of the tournament. A reminder, just beat with 106 average by Gary Anderson. But yeah, Lewis has last 12 months have not been without troubles, have they? He was dispatched at the World Championship and fell out of the top 20 in the world rankings. Adrian Lewis, but he's had some decent performances in these Pro Tour events, and he's looking to go on and reach the final here today. And maybe go even better than that, but he's a flamboyant and entertaining Arrowsmith, Adrian Lewis. We saw him earlier on against Robert Owen, and he wasn't quite at his best in that 35. One. Correct. But that was the closest anyone came to beating him today. That was 6-5. He'd already beaten James Richardson 6-0 by then, but since then he's eased through to this 59. Stage, beating Robbie Green 6-1, Josh Payne 6-3 and Jamie Caven 6-2. And both of these players were beaten in the first round yesterday. Lewis by Stephen Burton and Zwaan by Caven. But Jeffrey's seeing off Vincent van der Voort, John Part, Matt Edgar and Alan Tabban, and he himself, looking at statistics, has not been hitting the heights that we know he's capable 90. Of. So this is even, in a way, more encouraging for young Jeffrey reaching this stage without playing his best. However, he'll have to do something he's never done before 78. If he's going to progress to a second PDC final, and that's beat Adrian Lewis, because they've met 5 times before and Adrian Lewis has won the lot. The last one was 82. In October at Players Championship 21. Last year when Lewis won at 6-2. Only once has Zwaan got within 1 leg of Adrian Lewis. That was back in 2015. And their second meeting 72. Actually was at Players Championship for the corresponding event back in 2015 as well. Lewis just taking a step back. I'm not sure if he felt Jeffrey was walking a bit slowly there, or whether he just needed to readjust. So he's looking down at the hockey again. Not sure what he's noticed 95. Down there. Third time he looked down. Try and keep an eye on that. But Zwaan wants double 4 to take the first leg, and he does just that. Yeah, the impressive thing I thought about Jeffrey's victory over Michael van Gerwen at the UK Open, as Adrian Lewis fires in a 180 again. Is this just a new quirk that he's got? Something on the hockey's noticed. I don't know, maybe there's a little spider crawling around.
100.
Well, whatever he's doing, it's working, because Adrian Lewis here
139.
Fired in 5 perfect darts, missed the treble 19. With the 6, Gary Anderson earlier today missed double 12 for a 9-darter. We haven't had one yet on the live stream in 2018. We were really spoilt last year for 9-dart legs.
135.
By this stage we had, well, I think at least 4, if not 5. But Lewis on an 11-darter here.
95. Game shot.
And he completes a fantastic 11 dart leg with that 47 out.
$137.
Well, he certainly seems to have upped his game since that second round match we had him on this live stream against Robert Owen. Lewis looking very good indeed in the early stages here. Second 180 of the match, that's his 11th of the day.
140.
And now looking to threaten Jeffrey's throw.
96.
And Adrian hoping to set up a repeat of, well, a couple of World Championship finals that he and Gary Anderson have contested.
180.
Anderson has been irresistible so far this weekend. He's on course to make it a back-to-back
140.
glory here in Barnsley. Something he's achieved before, but not for about 7 years. Winning back-to-back Pro Tour events. Well, Jeffrey just making an error there and having only one dart at double when he should have had two. So Adrian Lewis has been let in here. And he's going to get two at tops.
65.
But he spurned that opportunity. And is Zwaan spared at this stage?
Game shot.
And he returns to move ahead. It's really getting the feeling of a breakthrough year for Jeffrey Zwaan, who we all knew
58.
had a lot of potential. The kind of player, much like Adrian Lewis, where if it's working it looks fantastic, but when it's going wrong nothing seems to go for him at all. And this time last year
95.
he was in a real dry spell. In fact, Jeffrey Zwaan went 12 ranking events around this period last year without
74.
earning any money at all on the trot. So he certainly made a much better start, having had to go back to Q School and regain his tour card at the first attempt.
96.
All of a sudden he's become one of the main protagonists in the story of darts in 2018. And that's a role that Adrian Lewis has had for most of his career, but he's looking to halt a slide. But everybody knows what kind of ability this man has got.
85.
A man who's won 9 televised titles. Taking his total title
51.
tally to 24 in the PDC.
$58.
Now, will we see a sparkling moment here? 170 for Lewis, 167 for Zwaan. The former is not going to go.
98.
But the latter might. Oh yes, bullseye.
142.
Well, it was a chance to pinch a leg off Adrian Lewis. But the two-time world champ is going to get a dart at double top to level up this affair.
Game shot.
Nicely done. It's a kind of level of quality that this pair have been producing all day. Mid-90s in the averages after 4 legs. Neither have had a ton plus average all afternoon here. And you do feel that whoever does come through it is going to have to up their game
100.
to try and beat Gary Anderson in the final. The Scotsman in red hot form.
93.
And looking to take his prize fund for the last 7 days to an incredible £90,000, Gary Anderson.
180.
But Lewis and Zwaan will be hoping to stop him receiving a cheque that big. He's already guaranteed 6 for reaching
94.
the final. The 180 from JDZ here, getting him far enough in front to not have to worry about
92.
trying to leave the bullseye at the end of that visit.
$98.
Well, that's a great dart from Adrian Lewis, but it may well be in vain. But it might not be, because that is an absolute disaster for Zwaan. 2 darts missed at the double 16, and a third one hitting the 7, meaning he'll get a maximum of 2 darts at double when he comes back. If he comes back, because Lewis has placed a perfect dart in the treble 20 and followed it.
138.
Well, that would have been huge. Having to step across. Yeah, 17. And it's getting troublesome, this leg, for Jeffrey Zwaan, because now Adrian Lewis has 18 remaining.
Oh my.
No score.
But he's unable to finish that off. I'm surprised he opted to bust that with the last dart, because had he left the same target that Zwaan's going for now, he'd have guaranteed himself 3 darts at double if he'd have come back. However, it matters not, as Jeffrey edges ahead once more.
100. $82.
So the story of the day then, Gary Anderson sweeping
96.
through the field once again. Dave Chisnell beaten in the semi-finals. The winner of this one to take on the Flying Scotsman in today's decider. Shout outs too for the beaten
40.
quarter-finalists. Jan Decker, Jamie Caven, Stephen Bunting and Keegan Brown all having good runs. On a day that saw the top seeds tumble
140.
in the early stages. Peter Wright beaten in round 1, Rob Cross in round 2. Lewis has been the only seed in his half of the draw since the last 32 stage of this tournament. And he's looking likely to level this one up at 3 apiece. Lovely set-up shot from Jackpot on a 13 darter.
$180.
Jeffrey applies the pressure, but it's not felt by a man as experienced and as talented as Adrian Lewis.
$135. $57.
I just get the feeling that both players are playing slightly slower than usual here. It doesn't seem to have the frantic pace that I expected.
58.
I'm not sure if one of them were to speed up, it might just take the quality a little higher. Although Adrian's not doing bad here.
140.
Now perhaps it's more the bit between throwing the darts that is just fairly slow.
162.
Superb shooting from Zwaan. Gets himself down to 146 after 9 darts. And there have been chances to break in this match, but it hasn't happened yet. And once again, Zwaan looks favourite to win his own throw.
57.
Well, if Adrian Lewis could find a maximum here, it would really apply pressure.
Even.
60.
Couldn't find a treble at all in that visit, so Zwaan can approach this 89 with no pressure at all, and that's why I decided not to go for 20 to leave the bullseye, and cleans it up. Two legs away then from a second PDT final and a repeat of the UK Open qualifier.
55.
Decided that he faced Gary Anderson in. On that day, it was the 4th UK Open qualifier last month in Wigan, and Zwaan was beaten 6-2.
78.
By the Flying Scotsman. I bet you already can't remember who Jeffrey beat in the semi-finals. I'll give you 5 seconds. Yeah, it was Jason Lowe. Full marks to anyone at home who remembered that one.
85.
It was Lowe who did for Lewis in the quarterfinals of that
180.
tournament. But Lewis firing a maximum. His 3rd of the match.
$98. $137.
And Jackpot tees up the double, and it's looking like we could well be going all the way in this one.
65.
Anderson waiting in the wings, having dispatch of Dave Chisnell very, very quickly. Completed this semi-final victory before
Game
this
shot.
duel had even started. I'm not sure how long the turnaround between the semi and the final will be, because Gary Anderson will have been waiting a while.
95. $42. $57.
Need. Get in.
115. $96.
Well, is this where Adrian Lewis strikes a maximum to get himself down to a finish first? And a real opportunity now
80.
to break the throw of Jeffrey Zwaan, because he's got half a dozen darts to turn this 164 into 0. Treble will be handy here.
94.
Yeah, that'll do nicely.
133.
Well, a good setup from Jeffrey, but Lewis poised to strike. There's only one dart at double.
50.
And he went for double top. Interesting route there from Adrian Lewis, having gone the 18 route in the first place, to then go for 12 for tops. Usually the tops man. Expected to see treble 10. And he didn't want to see double 10 go in for Jeffrey, and it hasn't. So Lewis looking for the same target. Well, that's a long way off, and you can just see him wiping his hand there.
Game shot.
Fantastic correction, and Adrian Lewis knows how big that could be, because he is now throwing for the match and for a place in today's final against a flying Scotsman, Gary Anderson. Lewis just taking his time a little bit before throwing in what he hopes is the last leg of this match.
100.
What has Jeffrey got left in the tank?
$100. $58.
Well, no treble in that visit from Adrian Lewis, so a chance here for Zwaan to get himself back into this.
$55.
I think sometimes knowing that there's a big opportunity can kind of put you out of your stride sometimes. The best players in the world, it seems to focus them, and the likes of Michael van Gerwen and Gary Anderson can strike when they really need to. That can have been said of Adrian Lewis at many times in his glittering career.
140.
That's better. It's all about this visit from Adrian Lewis. 3 points behind before this, but he's going to be down to a finish, and two trebles mean that it's a two-darter when he returns. And a check-out that he's had once before in this match.
96.
Looking at treble 16. Another one of those for double top to reach today's final. Adrian Lewis. Well, he's missed that by some distance. Tense tungsten here at the Barnsley Metrodome, and Zwaan with a chance to strike. Well, I can't believe he went for the bullseye there.
26.
Smallest target on the board. Could have gone for treble 18 for double 18. Went for the bull for tops. But Adrian Lewis has handed him another chance. 3 match darts missed in this 10th leg. And Zwaan still back on 84, so this time you might have to go for the bullseye to win the leg. And he's hit the bullseye. That must hurt Adrian Lewis. Zwaan steals and forces a last leg decider. So Adrian Lewis now has to recover mentally from squandering those 3 darts for this match.
140.
But his destiny may well be in the hands of his opponent, throwing first in this deciding leg. And that is a mile away from Adrian Lewis. It's some adjustment to find the treble 20 with the following 2 darts. So all on this next minute or so. 3-6-1 each before that visit, but Zwaan has only managed to muster up 42 there. And Adrian Lewis does strike, hits hard. 140, 140. But JDZ fires back with a maximum. Down to a finish. Where will Adrian Lewis be? Well, no treble, and he is in trouble. Jeffrey Zwaan 139 to knock out the two-time world champ and deny him a place in the final against Anderson. Well, a missed start
23.
now for Jeffrey Zwaan for this match. This will be somewhere to win it. Over to you, Adrian. Well, he had his chance, Adrian Lewis. Now it's the turn of Jeffrey Zwaan. 888 for a second final of his career, a second final of the year. 4. And he will meet Gary Anderson. Lewis missed 3 darts to be in the final himself, and JDZ punished him. It's going to be Gary Anderson against Jeffrey Zwaan in around 10